Let's go. Victory hat time, baby. We're ready to roll. 5-1 first place. How are we feeling, boys?
How can we not feel good? Packers just got smacked by the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay, and the Bears are sitting atop the NFC North right now.
Yeah.
Club dub.
Club dub, baby. Club dub. First place in the North. Let's go.
And the defense is all the way back. Shades of 2018 today for the Bears.
Oh, yeah. That was huge.
But I'm ready to go, man.
I mean, it's hard to feel bad. Blake said it well. I was pretty chill through the whole game because, I mean, the defense was just fucked today, guys. Like, I don't know any way else to put it. Like, the defense was just on, and the refs took away a pick six, and they were still elite.
They're killing them with that, man.
Yeah, the refs seemed really against coordinator. The refs seemed really against the Bears today, huh?
Yeah, it was rough to see, and because I mean that's now a few weeks where they're just taking away huge game-changing plays. I mean, I think the Panthers end up scoring on that after that Eddie Jackson pick six because they went on a drive there, and then I mean they had a few that were just in huge moments, like even the Jalen Johnson one where he may have had his arm hooked a little bit, but I think he did a good job of getting his body turned, but that resulted in a touchdown. So you know you take away a couple of those big calls by the refs and the Bears only gave up like 6 points or so in that game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and also if you take away some of those calls, the Bears also score 30-plus points. So, you know, it was a tough one. And, you know, Alex is saying it best, like the bullshit calls. It was a tough day, but they overcame adversity and 5-1, baby. 5-1, a big 23-7-16 win against the Panthers. Panthers team who was rolling. And you know, Blake, we talked to Tyrone about this earlier, but that's a good Panthers team. They were able to stretch the ball. I'll tell you what, those wide receivers were something special. I mean, those guys are good. They were making Jalen Johnson look a little they were making him look like a rookie today. Yeah. So
yeah, but that's the thing too. That was nice to see out of Jalen Johnson. Even in those moments where he did get burned a little bit by Robbie Anderson or he was flagged, he always came back physical and still played to the best of his ability. You know, it's not like he was hanging his head. Like he still came out and he was giving everything he could on every single play. So you love to see that out of a competitor like that. But yeah, those wide receivers are good. But the Bears gave Teddy Bridgewater all they could handle today.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, God, it's tough on offense. We'll talk about it in a minute, but defense really showed up today. How about that first drive? That first drive was fantastic. Ryan, take me through your thoughts when you were watching that drive and kind of how you thought about it, especially at that turnover there. I mean, that was what a way to start the game there. I
mean, first two plays, like first play, Bilal Nichols got into the backfield and just about got us to safety. Second play was the interception. I mean, that I was in disbelief. Not like I don't want to say that I was in disbelief, but I kind of was. But it was nice. But you know that our offense kind of stalled a little bit in the red zone there. But besides that,
well, they brought that in. How about that Cole Kmet touchdown? Did I not? I called that on today's show. Did I not?
I think you did.
Yeah, I called the Cole Kmet touchdown. The 3 turnovers I also called. The Staley Sunday parlay hit. So what a day, boys!
That's Sunday, man.
I won over $100. If the LA Rams win by 3 points tonight, I win another $100. So
Austin's on cloud 9 over there.
What a day! I'm
when
fantasy.
Parlay
I'm winning
plus 504 or something like that.
502. Yeah, I put 20 on it. I'm a fucking champ. I go balls to the wall, baby.
All for Staley, baby.
All for Staley. Yeah, we're rolling. I'm rolling in the dough right now after a really tough Saturday. We're here. We're ready to go.
Let's talk about this real quick because Kyle Fuller had an awesome game today, and I think we're starting to see over the last few weeks how much of an impact player he is. He was a first-team All-Pro in 2018, but he's playing at that same level right now. And Alex is right; he deserves to be looked at as one of those top corners in the game right now.
Absolutely, Kyle Fuller, week in and week out, is performing like whoa, damn! Alex won a $400 parlay.
Hey.
Kyle Fuller is looking more and more like his All-Pro self from 2018. And also, how about Roquan Smith? Both those guys are coming in and balling out on a day-to-day basis.
Roquan was possessed today.
Roquan had 15 tackles. He's on pace. I think Jacob Infante, who is a stats guy, he puts out some great tweets. I think he said Roquan's on pace for 139 tackles this season.
Would it be his career high?
All pro, baby. And then Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham wasn't even in there on the goal line, and Cole Kmet was making plays out there. Kyle Fuller was making plays out there. David Montgomery really tough start, but he put the team on his back at the end of the game. How about that?
Yeah,
but we
he
can
had a
get right
couple
into
nice
it.
runs.
Yeah, starting with the offense. How worried are you guys about this offensive running scheme right now, this running game? Because there's a lot of holes. I'm watching the Bucks and the Panthers play right now, and the offensive lines are 2-3 yards. By the time the play is done, no matter how many yards, the offensive linemen are 2-3 yards in front of the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bears, every time it's like Charles Leno standing up, Jermaine Ifiti's on his ass, Bobby Macy's falling down. So, like, how worried are you guys about this run game? Because some really suspect and then it forces Matt Nagy to get really super cute, and we all just get like, what the hell's going on? So how worried are you guys about this run game so far going forward before we get into all these positives?
I think I'm very worried because we talked about it almost the entire pregame show. Like, if there was a week to get the running game going, it was going to be this week.
Yeah.
And the Panthers were giving up 5-point yards per pop before this game. And David Montgomery finished with 3.1. And like Austin said, like, he didn't get really rolling until late. He didn't make his biggest plays until the fourth quarter. So, you take away those fourth quarter. It was a rough game running the ball. And it seemed like they tried to commit to it a little bit too, and it just wasn't there. And I think it's on a little bit of everything in this running game. Like, they're just not a good team running the football team. The offensive line isn't very good. The scheme hasn't been very good. And David Montgomery too. Like, David Montgomery has his moments, but I think like they all bear some of the blame right now. I don't know what you guys think here, but
yeah, I think they all bear the blame. But man, I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased. I have his jersey on, but maybe I'm just biased.
Yeah.
David Montgomery looks like he runs hard every single time. And it just doesn't look like there's holes. And finally, some holes were opening up at the end of the game, and he was able to get those 10-yard runs. But he just, like, it just looks like this offense is playing so soft. Like, nobody is taking charge. Coward's in there, and he's not looking too great. So, I think the Bears need to make a move and go take an offensive lineman or sign a free agent right now and try to bring one in and improve that offensive line, because even Foles, I know that was a horrible decision by Nick Foles, but still the offensive line immediately get to Nick Foles. So, and he's not mobile. You got to get him some time. And you see when Foles gets time, he's able to make throws. He went on some crazy streaks today. The offense is looking really good for the most part. So all in all, a tough day on the ground. The offensive line did solid for the most part in pass protection, but the run game, something's got to change. Matt Nagy either has to force it and keep sticking with it, or, Juan Castillo has to continue to work with these guys, and we have to bring in someone new, because Coward and Bars doesn't look like the answer right now. And this is a team that's bound for the playoffs at 5-1 right now. So something's got to change.
How do we feel about this situational passing and running for Matt Nagy too? Because once again, Matt Nagy here is under the 2-minute warning, calling a couple passes. The Panthers had, I think, all 3 timeouts when they started that series, but you take a chance on that 3rd and 3, and I think you run the football, because that forces them to use their last timeout.
100% on the third.
And at the end of the day, it works out because the Bears still won the game. They were able to get an interception pretty much right after. But, this is a couple times now where Matt Nagy is kind of like, I guess the old Bruce Arians saying, no risk it, no biscuit type of stuff. But, so I appreciate the aggressiveness, but man, like you're putting your defense in a tough spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100% putting your defense in a tough spot. But the other thing is too,
but aren't you glad we have that defense?
Yeah.
It's
But
nice
that's
to
the
do
thing.
that,
That's why at that point you run the ball, get it down to under a minute, and you got it. But like Nagy, I understand last week going for the pass and then trying to get down the field more, get that first down and ice the game. But like this time, you have David Montgomery, who actually has been breaking off some big runs those last couple plays.
Mm-hmm.
Hand the ball off to him. If he doesn't get it, like Vilma said, or whoever said it, worst comes to worst, Panthers use their last timeout. They have no timeouts. They have to go down all the way the length of the field with no timeouts. But at the end of the day, it's something that he has to work on. But here's the thing. I really think that within 2 weeks here, I think this offense is going to hit its full stride. I don't think we've seen it yet. I think Nick Foles might still be getting into it a little bit more, kind of getting comfortable with it. But I think this offense is going to hit its full. I really, truly do.
If we cut out drops, it would have looked way better today.
Yeah, well, drops, penalties. There was a whole slew of things.
Bears look a little bit sloppy. Like, they don't look the best coached right now in a lot of aspects of the game, like the delay of game out of a timeout.
The defense, Chuck, how about that? And then how about the 2 straight 12-man on the field plays with Chuck? I don't know what was going on there, but, it's tough, but you can look at positives here. If the Bears can somehow get that run game going and just something. Juan Castillo comes in, does something. This is going to be and Foles gets it going with the offense like he kind of did today, but kind of streaks at a higher level, more plays down the field, more chunk plays. This is going to be a fucking dangerous team. Like I don't want to get too excited about it, but this is going to be a dangerous team if they really get going.
Dude, we're 5-1. I think we are well past the get excited. Like we can still be cautiously optimistic and realize that
we've gone 7-1 and not made the playoffs before.
Yeah, but this is an expanded format. It'd be like I feel like it'd be statistically harder to not make the playoffs at this point.
Oh, extremely difficult. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if the Niners lose later today, with the Packers losing as well. But yeah, so a couple negatives there. There was some coaching errors. The delay of game out of a timeout was terrible.
Dude, that's like you can't have that happen. Yeah, you can't take a timeout when you're about to take a delay a game and then come out immediately take another delay.
Yeah, and then how about the fumble, the pick, and then almost the pick six in
that
3 straight plays?
God level interception from Nick Foles. That was one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was terrible. I don't really know what he was thinking about doing. That was terrible. That was a really tough
almost
decision.
Had a big man tutty today. I don't know if y'all remember that, but the Akeem Hicks fumble recovery.
Oh yeah.
That was my chance.
Big man tutty today. We would have had to feature Blake's big man tutty photo of who is it again?
Man, Keith Traylor.
Keith Traylor, that's it. Yeah, that's something special. I mean, that would have been insane if that happened. But yeah, this defense ate again. I mean, Teddy was under pressure all day, and even when Teddy got out of the pocket and scrambled, it was only for a couple yards. Roquan just
man possessed,
making these plays, man. I mean, how about that? You guys remember that screen play on the wide receiver? He just bursted up, read the play right out of the snap and blew it up. I mean, that's the all-pro that we've been waiting for, not the picture of the guy in the sunflower patch with the sunflower. So
hey, he can still be the picture of the guy in the sunflower patch.
Yeah, he's a softie off the field, but when he's on, he's a man possessed. But
man,
all right,
one guy on the deal. Go ahead.
I wasn't going to say anything super important. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's not. I don't have.
Look,
it's all important. Come on.
That one play that he made where he was, it looked like he was still in a block and then just kind of went through the guy like a Khalil Mack-esque type play, like where Khalil Mack will have a lineman on him, like actively blocking, but he just kind of goes through and sacks quarterback. That's what Roquan did.
Yeah.
I think it was a screen pass. It might be the same play that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
But there was a few where there were penalties that were called back where Roquan was just a monster. Like he looks like an all-pro, and he looks like, I don't want to get cautiously optimistic, but like that's somebody that we drafted in the first round. That's what we wanted out of Leonard Floyd, was something like that, except with the pass rush. And now we're getting it, and it feels so good, man.
Yeah, and more
being back makes me so happy.
More positives. The Bears continue to finish games and continue to be the best team in the fourth quarter in the NFL, which is fantastic.
We scored a touchdown in the third quarter.
And we scored a touchdown in the third.
Touchdowns in the
New
third quarter.
era in Chicago. But let's talk about DHC, DeAndre Houston Carson. I mean, let's just start putting him in on last drives every single game. I mean, at this point, 2 straight game-winning plays. Why
Johnny
not?
On the
That's
spot.
Good for him. And also, the Chicago Bears have a kicker. When was the last time
sir.
a 55-yarder? When was the last time a Chicago Bear
down the
55-yarder?
middle, dude? It was beautiful.
Right down the pipe. Right down the pipe.
Like it is coming off of his foot. You can hear the whistle blow for a good field goal as soon as it comes off of his foot.
Yeah, R.I.P. Eddie Bags. Eddie
I know.
Man.
Good run, man. But Cairo's our guy. Yeah, it was a good run, but Cairo's our guy. I mean,
the way that he's performed, and it feels. I don't want to speak too soon because last year after the Broncos game, we were all like, "Oh, we got a kicker. We could put it all behind us." And then Eddie Pinheiro came out and missed kicks in the next week. So you never know with Bears kickers, but
a 50. I mean, what is he? He's only had 2 misses this year? 1 maybe?
I think so. That sounds about right.
He's been fantastic, and he just drilled a 55-yarder right down the fucking pipe. So I know we're gonna say this shit, and come playoff time, he's gonna miss a game-winning field goal, but it's been fantastic. So that was a good thing to watch. But all right, let's talk about positives, specifically on the offense and the defense. Guys, give me 2 positives that you've seen on the offense, starting with Ryan.
2 positives on the offense. Cole Kmet came online. That was pretty cool.
That was nice. Welcome to Chicago, Cole Kmet.
Number 2, I would say Darnell Mooney fucks. Yeah. Darnell Mooney is going to be
wide receiver 2, baby.
Yeah. He's looking really good. And if it wouldn't have been for I won't say an egregious height ball, he would have had more yards, but man, he was just going up and getting them today.
Yeah.
That's the thing about I've been really impressed with Mooney is his ability to high point the ball because he's not the biggest guy out there, like even like height wise, frame wise, but it's almost like Tyreek Hill-esque the way he's able to high point it as a little guy. Because I mean, you watch a guy like Tyreek Hill. And I'm not saying Darnell Mooney's Tyreek Hill. I mean, Tyreek Hill is one of the best wide receivers in football, but Darnell Mooney possesses those same qualities as a smaller guy where he can still go up and get it. And I think that's important for a really good wide receiver to be able to do. And that's just another skill that he has. I mean, he takes the lid off of defense and he can catch short passes doing the same kind of thing. So,
and he plays defensive back well whenever there's a bad pass and it's going to be intercepted.
Oh yeah. That was an awesome play too.
It was. Heads up by him.
Yeah, so Darnell Mooney looking good. Cole Kmet looking good. For me, 2 positives on offense. I mean, Jimmy Graham keeps making clutch plays. Third down. How many plays did he make?
I wanted to say that was going to be one of my positives. Austin, it's been a good call. You got to do. You're getting close to having to do your victory lap on Jimmy Graham because you were catching a lot of shit at one point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good. I'm close. We'll see as he catches more touchdowns as the season goes. But yeah, Jimmy G's looking fantastic. If Roquan makes if Roquan becomes an All-Pro Pro Bowler, like I also said that in the beginning of the season, I might just have to go to Vegas for a weekend and just try my luck.
Crazy.
I'm going Vegas right now.
Just
just sit in the sports book too. But I mean, Jimmy's been looking great for sure on offense. Allen Robinson continues to look great, and I don't know. I mean, Nagy, suspect, spotty play calling here and there, but I feel like he's slowly giving the reins over to Nick Foles of this offense. And I feel like he's slowly letting Nick command the offense when it's needed. For example, fourth quarter, usually when Nagy would just tell Mitch to hand off the ball, I don't know if you guys noticed, he let Foles go. He let Foles go hurry up offense, and Foles commanded the offense for a good part of that drive. So it's nice to see that happening, and it's nice to see the Bears offense, like those drives. There's some really good drives. Now we just got to start finishing. And again, another weird first half where the Bears really didn't have many first half possessions. So like the game against I think it was the Falcons too, it was against the Bucks. But it's just like it's 2 like really strange halves, and then they got it going a little bit in the second half. But regardless, I would like to see this running game open up. Nick Foles is looking more and more comfortable as the games go. He's getting on some really hot streaks. So for me, 2 positives. Nick Foles looks like he's starting to settle in. I think over the next week or 2, we're going to see that really settle in. And also Jimmy Graham looking great. So Blake, close it out. 2 positives for the offense.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to agree with you on the one. Jimmy Graham, I think even today he didn't get in the end zone, but they're just using him the way that he needs to be used. You know, he's picking up key third downs, and he's become a security blanket almost for Nick Foles, and that's a big role to serve in this offense. And the stats may not jump off the box score, but I mean, it's important. It's important for an offense to be able to move the ball because, at this point in time, like for a Bears offense, you take a series where they can get a couple of first downs and then punt versus the 3 and outs that we saw all last year. Because whether or not that flips field position, eats up time. So, those are good things to see. Second positive, it's tough for me to try and find a second positive here. Allen Robinson, obviously really good. And like you said, Darnell Mooney, I think those are the biggest ones, but, the offense still struggled today. Like they still have a lot of work to do. And I know Nagy talked in his press conference last week that there's details that they're trying to iron out, and they still have a lot of details that they need to iron out until they are considered a successful offense. But you take the win, and even though like I said, like the box score wasn't pretty in this game, the Bears were still able to move the ball a solid amount there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Nick Foles looks solid for the most part against a decent Carolina defense that has actually held 3 of their their winning streak. They held some good teams to under 20 points. So some positives there for Nick Foles to be able to move the ball. Obviously getting the running game going is a big thing here, and Nagy continuing to try to figure out his relationship with Nick Foles, and Nick Foles continuing to figure out his relationship with the personnel. But at the end of the day, a very positive win. And obviously we don't need to go through everybody, but defense looking fantastic. Houston Carson with a big interception at the end. Jalen Johnson with the PBU on the the Tayshaun Gibson interception. And then the fumble recovery by Akeem Hicks. So just all around great play. The Bears defense looks like it's getting stronger every single game. So lots of positives there on the defensive side of the football. The Bears are 5-1. The Packers got romped. The Packers are 4-1. The Bears are atop of the NFC North. Let's see those haters. Let's see those haters come at us now. And the Vikings, who were ahead of the Bears in power rankings that I saw recently, romped by the Falcons.
Yeah, oh my God, the Vikings at 9 in that power rankings,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I don't even know who it was,
Yeah,
CBS or
okay.
something. I don't even know. Just
Dude,
embarrassing.
I
Okay.
swear they've had
Embarrassing.
Viking derangement syndrome for years now. Ever since the that playoff game where they had the Minnesota Miracle, they have been severely overrated.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, but the Bears are going to get some respect this week. They're still going to be called frauds. Jason LaCanfora is always going to pick against them. He is continuing to just like ignore the Bears as
Hey,
they
we
win,
might
and
be
he's-
frauds, and that's okay because we're 5-1. And if your team
And
is
we're
in
in
first
first
place
place.
of the division,
Yeah, right.
like don't talk to me. You know what
We're
I
in
mean?
first place, and we have the second best record in the NFC, baby. So say whatever you want. The Bears are 5-1, rolling into next week with a big game against LA. Real quick before we go over some Staley picks, and then close out the show. How are we feeling about next week? The Rams, who have looked good in some games, tough in other games, have been, I don't know. It's a showdown in LA again. Bears didn't do too hot last year. Blake, how are you feeling about this game Monday night?
I think if you would have asked me before the game, my answer would have been different. But now, after watching how well that the defense played today and how back to that 2018 form it felt like them, this game is a really winnable game next Monday night. And if they can come out and get a W over the Rams, they have
Then
to
it's
start
the
getting
Saints?
respect.
Yeah.
That you're 6-1, and you got 2 really tough games in the next week after that. But winning one of these will go a long way for the Bears' rest of season outlook. And you gotta believe that they're legit if they can beat the Rams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and people, this is a good Panthers team at the end of the day. This is a 3-3 Panthers team. They just won 3 in a row, coming off a win against obviously a very good Bucs team. So at the end of the day, this is a Bears team, and then the Falcons who just romped the Vikings. So people can continue to say that who the Bears are playing are not good enough. The Bears, again, second best record in the NFC. I'm just going to keep saying that. They have the second best record in the NFC right now. Only the Seahawks have a better record than them, and they're undefeated.
It's crazy, man. Crazy.
I mean, if you would have told me that before the season, I would have said, I knew that because I called it. Look at my record prediction. Be 5-1 right now. I knew that would happen. Duh, come on. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I was obviously 5-1 for me at this point was hopeful. It happened. Here we are. The Bears are 5-1 heading into next week, Monday night against LA. Before we close out the show, though, Ryan, I want to go over Staley's picks real quick. I won my Staley Sunday parlay that I do every Sunday. You guys check it out at Uncle Mike 21. I post it every Sunday from our at LSL_pod account. Today it was Falcons, Titans,
Colts.
Titans, Ravens, Colts. Thank God for that comeback. And the Colts, it was a plus 502 parlay, put $20 on it, won over $100. So just a great day. Fantasy's doing great, except in Blake's league, I'm getting my butt whooped because my team sucks. And I have a lot of bye weeks or injuries, but just a solid day. It's great. So Ryan, without further ado, how's Staley doing right now? How did Staley do on the Surefire selections? And then who do we have for tomorrow?
On the Surefire selections, he was 4-5, but overall it was a pretty shitty day for Staley. Honestly, I mean, I'm
6
glad
and 5,
the
just
parlay
over
hit.
500. Yeah.
Yeah.
Parlay 6-5. Staley's going to have those days, but Staley's continuing to learn as we go. And obviously, as teams start warming up, there's going to be some more upsets. So I mean, it's going to happen. Staley picked a lot of upsets today. Staley had a lot of balls, but some worked, some didn't. Who do we got tomorrow, Ryan, for the Monday night games?
Let me pull up my list.
I think they have the Bills winning against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I should have already had this pulled up.
And then the other one, what's the other Monday night game?
The Cowboys and the Cardinals.
And then I think they have the Cardinals.
So,
yeah,
4 out of 5 for the Bills, 4 out of 5 for the Cowboys, and then tonight there's 3 out of 5 for the 49ers.
Oh, okay. Let's see how Staley does. I mean, those are bold picks, but let's see how Staley does for sure. Yeah. All right. Overall, guys, give me your confidence level of the Bears on a 1 to 10 scale, especially heading into next week. I'll start with you, Blake.
6, and that's all because of the defense. It would be a lot higher if the offense was even a little better, but next week, if they can get the win, that just keeps going up. I mean, the Bears are 5-1. I'm not taking anything away from them, but I mean, a lot of these, the Buccaneers one was probably a signature win, especially with how the Bucs destroyed the Packers today. So that one is going to continue to look better for them. But this is still I just feel like they have to be tested, and the Rams are another test. And if they can pass that test, the Bears are a contender.
Yeah, if the Bears win on Monday night in LA, that's
and if that defense puts on one of those performances like they did today, and like we know they can, that defense is good enough to take you to where you want to go. It's just going to end up on the shoulders of Matt Nagy and Nick Foles, and if they can get this offense going in the right direction.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, at the end of the day, no matter who we beat, 5-1 is a very difficult thing to do in the NFL. So we are rolling into that. Ryan, give me your scale 1 to 10. How confident are you in the Bears right now?
My confidence level is a 7 because I think this is going to be similar to the 2018 Rams game, but we're not going to have a quarterback who's going to keep throwing interceptions.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm a 7 as well. Heading into next week, I think the Bears have a real chance, and I think Nick Foles, regardless of how Nick Foles plays, he gives you a chance to win no matter who we're playing. And I'm actually confident with that. He made the one bad decision today, but for the most part, he was making some really smart throws. He was dropping some dimes in coverage, ultimately, once we figure out the deep ball, the run game. It's going to be a team that it's going to be tough to deal with. So I'm hoping that the defense continues to play next weekend or next week again, Monday night. And then I'm hoping that, Nick, this offense continues to find its way out. And the offense knows that they need to get going more. So they're going to figure it out. But, guys, that is our post-game show, as always, reviewing it. And this is going to be up on YouTube. And it'll be up audio-wise on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, anywhere you guys get your podcast. We'll post it there later tonight. And as always, we'll be back Wednesday or Thursday with a new audio podcast, recapping the Bears game a little bit more, doing our big board segments, previewing this game, and bringing another guest on. So, as always, you guys can go check out our social media, Lakeshore Live Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, at LSL_pod on Twitter. Again, we're on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You guys can check out our show from last week with an interview with Jalen Johnson, which was really awesome. And, of course, you guys see it at the bottom, manscaped.com. Use promo code BEARSBACK. The Bears are so back, baby, so use that code BEARSBACK to get 20% off. You can – yes, Harvey, they're all the way back. You can get 20% off your order on – manscaped.com. Use code BEARSBACK, 20% off. Change the way you manscape your man parts. There's a lot of awesome stuff there, guys, and you can get them for super cheap. So make sure you check it out, manscaped.com. Use promo code BEARSBACK. You'll be helping out your favorite podcast, and you'll be getting some great stuff that'll make your lady say, whoa, that's nice.
Hey.
Or your man. Doesn't matter how you do it, but you can go here, manscaped.com. Check it out. Check everything out there. They got everything from shampoo, hair gel, underwear, to razors, nose trimmers. They got a ton of shit there, and it's really quality products. So again, manscaped.com, BearsBack, 20% off. All right, guys, we will catch you Thursday. As always, this show will be up later tonight. You can check it out if you missed it, or tomorrow. And we'll be back Thursday. And then, of course, we'll be back. I think we're going to do another pregame show at 10 a.m. on Sunday, even though the Bears. Oh, no, we'll be back Monday.
Yeah.
So Monday we'll do a pregame show, but I think we'll do a postgame show Sunday. Because,
Okay.
I mean, we'll think about it, but that's what we're doing. We'll be back Monday night. Maybe we'll do a live show in between. We'll figure it out, but we will be back Wednesday or Thursday with our normal weekly podcast. So as always, guys, have a great week. The Bears are 5-1. They're number 1 in the NFC North, and they're number 2 in the NFC. What a year it's been so far. Let's keep it rolling into LA. So go Bears, bear down, and we'll catch you later this week. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Bears.